I was in conversation through faxes with Tim Burton almost every 2 days.
Wow.
Like I would get faxes from him via Robin. Sometimes I'd get them directly. Sometimes a courier would bring a bunch of napkin sketches with Tim Burton DNA and sketches on them. So you're like, I probably should have kept those.
Let's get into it.
Well, so I was on Beetlejuice, but I was also I had my ear to the ground for any project in-house that was coming in-house that I could move over to. And it was no secret to my producers and my bosses that I was probably not the right guy for Care Bears, although I have the skills. And I got an enormous work ethic too, so I will get the stuff done.
Yeah.
But there is a cost. There is a price to you as my boss, because you got to listen to me bitching and complaining and occasionally kicking a desk over with the splint that's on my leg right now. I told you earlier that I had availed myself of the photocopy room quite a bit to do flyers for the hardcore band. Yeah. That I was in, a band called Son of Happy, which was pretty highly involved and well known in the Toronto hardcore scene. Nice. In the late '80s. And of course, I did all the posters, for the band, or most of them. Any once in a while, another band member would have an idea. And of course, because we were, socialist, we said, yeah, go ahead. So anyway, I had availed myself of a lot of photocopies, but I was always pretty careful to take the evidence out of the photocopy room, because I do it after hours, whatever. And I guess I started leaving a few things down there. And the guy that ran the photocopy room, a fellow named Paul, he really liked the posters and everything, so he started pinning them up. Nice. On the wall and not reporting me. Like he was just like, he never said anything to me, but when I saw the posters on the wall, I was like, okay, so he knows this is a tacit permission to do it. So I did it, and then I would maybe leave a poster there and I'd see it up on the bulletin board. Well, again, I'm wandering around in the story a little bit, but I think what happened was the eventual director of Beetlejuice, an amazing Canadian animation legend named Robin Budd, who ended up being like one of my mentors at the time. I think he saw these posters down there, and there was something about them that made him think, I kind of need this guy to be involved in this upcoming project. And it hadn't been announced, but it had been hinted at around the studio. Like every once in a while, you would find a press kit or something, and it would hint that Beetlejuice, the movie, was going to be turned into an animated series. And it hinted that Nelvana was in the running for it, and we were like, no, it's way too good to be true. Yeah. And everybody was just sitting there, like going, please, because even the nerds were like so crazy for Beetlejuice. Like any animation nerd in the world loves that movie, right?
Oh yeah,
and probably loves Tim Burton and the aesthetic that he brings to stuff. So we were all like, going, yes. And it was just because my stuff had been sort of tacked up in the photocopy area. Robin had seen it, and he'd asked somebody to let me know that he wanted to sit down and chat with me. And so he brought me into his office, and he had the photocopies out. And when I walked in, I was like thinking, weird, this is Robin Budd, Canadian animation legend. Is he the one that's going to fire me because I did all this photocopy?
Because that'd be kind of
cool.
It
wasn't anything like that, but what's that?
I said that'd be kind of cool.
That would have been fine. Yeah. Robin never did fire me, thankfully. But anyway, so we had this chat. He said, I'd like to see more of your stuff. He said, we got a project coming in, and I can't really talk about it. And I went, is it Beetlejuice? And he went, can't talk about it.
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, fantastic. So I mean, I hadn't really assembled a portfolio or a bag of work since I had got hired at Nelvana like 5 years before. That's Nelvana was the company I was working at. I don't know if
I know the name. It's a big name.
Yeah, it was the biggest animation producer in Canada for decades and decades. Yeah. And so anyway, I guess long story short, I got hired, and I not only got hired, I got hired into a brand new position for the studio because they had never had, for series work, and when I say series, I mean, 11 to 22 minute sequential, yada yada. For series work, they had never had production designers. Usually you get a production designer on a feature, or you get a production designer on Premiere TV or something like that. But Robin, because he's brilliant, he got it in his head that we should be doing designs from script to give to the storyboard artists, and you guys probably know what storyboards are too, because a lot of time prior to that, storyboard artists had to just make up a secondary character or make up a location, and it was just like you got enough to do as a storyboard artist. And I can attest to that because I'm a storyboard artist as well. That's what I've been doing for the last 10 years of my career. That's what I do. And being asked to do the storyboards and design characters as you go was just like just mind blowing.
Yeah.
So his idea was, okay, I need a designer who's keyed into the show, keyed into the Tim Burton aesthetic, keyed into the German expressionist aesthetic, which is what we took our inspiration from. Tuned into alternative ways of designing, and I guess he thought I was that guy, which when I think about it now is just like kind of mind-blowing too, because I was just some punk, right, that caused a lot of trouble around the studio,
which is kind of, to be fair, it kind of fits.
It kind of fits, and stole a lot of photocopies. And so he wanted to have these packages, and they ended up being called fun packs, and which is an industry standard now, at least in Canada. It might be in the States as well, but in Canadian animation studios, as a storyboard artist, you get what's called a fun pack, which means it's a lot of rough designs that are right from the script between the production designer and the director, and you get that and you go, whew, I don't have to design every location. I don't have to design every secondary character. I don't have to put just a circle in because I don't know what this guy looks like. It's right here.
That's awesome.
And a lot of times it remains very close to that design because the director and the production designer have worked very closely on what it's going to look like. And sometimes it'll even go up the chain to the client. Like I was in conversation through faxes with Tim Burton almost every 2 days.
Wow.
Like I would get faxes from him via Robin. Sometimes I'd get them directly. Sometimes a courier would bring a bunch of napkin sketches with Tim Burton DNA and sketches on them. So you're like, I probably should have kept those.
Yeah, but, no doubt.
So you would say that Tim Burton did have quite a bit to do with the animated series as well.
At the beginning, for sure. And then once he got busy with, I think it was Edward Scissorhands. Once he got busy, and Batman. Once he got really busy with feature stuff, he either didn't have time or he just started. I think he started to trust us with it too.
Yeah.
And he would only weigh in, like he would get the packs, and I don't know if he had time to look at them or not, or whether somebody was chasing him around some Hollywood backlot going, you should look at this, you can look at this. And yeah. So I really don't know the dynamic. But right at the beginning, he was so invested and so involved. It wasn't a bad thing. It was a great thing. Absolutely. Because you would gain from his insight, and to have Tim Burton look at a sketch you did and go, that's great, I love it. That means a lot.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
I've made it.
I mean, it was enough to have somebody like Robin or one of the other art directors or directors I was working for them to give me a thumbs up on something. But then, add a little bit of accolade from a guy like that, and you're like, oh, I feel pretty good about what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.